Keep your spine straight. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in, hold it there. Oh. 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 Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhasha Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Pranams to the Lord. Pranams to all the Mahatmas in tonight's session. It's an auspicious beginning. Always, whenever we get to talk about the Lord, about ourselves and our connection, all the days, all the moments become auspicious. After doing a Upanishad, then doing a Prakarana Grantha, why this sequence? One thing is we get to know what is a major thing that we have to achieve. We got a bigger picture. And now we can work towards it. Why it was Kaivalya Upanishad? Because it was of course my favorite first, that's why, but it's short. It doesn't complicate. It doesn't give much history and this and the it's so compact, and yet everything is there, like Mandukya. So another favorite is Mandukya, and then the theme of Mandukya we get to see in Kaivalya in a simplified format. And now why DrgDrishya? Because it's same reason. It's a simple Prakarana Grantha and yet so profound. Means without that Viveka, without that discrimination, our journey, our spiritual journey will not complete. So many times we'll feel that, okay, discrimination we must have. So if a person who is not a Vedantin will think so bad about us that, oh, she wants to discriminate. So it is not a gender or a color discrimination, that it is the Vedantic terminology. So we'll have to be clear that what are we trying to discriminate over here. In simple terms, we are discriminating all the Atma and Anatma. What is Atma? What is Anatma? Once we get that discrimination very perfect in our mind, we will not run towards anything Anatma. That clarity we will hold on to. So then why do we go behind it? We are going to see that aspect. Today, we'll start. Swamiji, means his simplified version, so dear to us. He just explained that first mantra, which is of course uploaded, and I hope you had revisited that and heard him again. We can't get anything more simpler than that aspect. He gave us a brief idea about what is a Prakarana Grantha, what are Vedas, who's the author of this text, what was that confusion, and then slowly he led us into the first mantra. When I have to see, Okay, this is a phone. Okay, it's a white in color phone. I have got my senses reporting to me that, okay, this is a phone, this is not a phone, this is a pen, this is a flower. What is dharma, what is adharma, will sense organ report. This is right, this is wrong. Does that reporting happens through a sense organ? What is creation? Who has created it? Does it happen through a sense organ? Sense organ is reporting me everything. I function through a sense organ. But these questions, if we ask, what happens when I die? What is a life after death? Is a sense organ reporting? Who's reporting that? Who am I actually? And what is my real nature? Is that reporting done by a sense organ? So when we ask these few questions, this reporting is not coming from sense organ. Then how do we know about it? Then our scriptures come in the picture. Then our Shraddha in our scriptures reveal it back to us. So our scriptures are, like a sense organ. They report to us. They tell us the things which this ordinary sense organ would not say. So how this phone is white and you can't debate with me on this, like that, with the Veda Vakyas, with the Upanishad Vakyas, you cannot debate with me because that's my faith. Whatever it says is true. So our whole first qualification to enter the subject is the faith. If I have the Shraddha, faith would be still a loose. That Shraddha means it's that conviction that it is said, so it is. Then to understand that, I need a help. Directly, I don't understand. Then these Prakarana Granthas come to us. So they simplify us and make our journey penetrate better into the Upanishad Vakyas. Why do I have to know that? Because my sense organ is not reporting to me my real nature. Okay. When I say I am sitting over here like this, nicely, comfortably cross-legged and all, I have imposed that I am sitting. My body is sitting. So this is a very fine discrimination that I did suddenly. I am, that's all. But I've said I am sitting. So that body is sitting, I have imposed on me the I. I'm saying I'm very happy now because we are starting my favorite text, if I'm going to say that. But I am happy now, my favorite text, I and me. I am, but happy, that's a condition of the mind. Okay. I'm sad, I'm angry, I'm hungry. So physical and mental needs, it is denoted. It's not me. But that closeness is so much, it is extremely difficult for me to dissociate from that anger or hunger or happy or sad. I am thin, I'm plumpy, I'm overweight, I'm sick, I'm having pain. Everything, whatever we are using this word I, we take I in that literal sense and we alternate between this body and the mind. And then accordingly, we will feel sad or happy, elated or angry, according to this, the mind and the body thing. Now we are getting where we are heading to. So the first slok only, it discriminates all this. What is what, and who is the seer at 4 levels. So this particular style to say the highest thing first and then simplify it later is Swami Vidyaranyaji's style, which we see in Panchadashi. All the 4 pithas which Shankaracharya had established, the heads, the adhipatis, are called Shankaracharya. Probably, initially, when this book must have said Shankaracharya and must have not used the word Adi. Then later, probably, people said Adi Shankaracharya. So, this Prakarana Grantha is given, means it's written by Adi Shankaracharya. But it may not be true. It could be Swami Vidyaranya, who was also Shankaracharya. So, the adhipatis of these ashrams are also Shankaracharya. So, this we'll have to remember. Why? Because the style of writing. So, when we heard Swamiji narrate to us the first verse, so we will do a quick recap on that and then proceed on to the next. So, this particular, why we discuss this now? Because my problem is this, that if we identify the problem, then when we enter the text, it is easy that I have identified myself as I am happy or sad, I am rich or poor, I am fat or thin. I have taken my body attributes, my mind attributes as my attributes. And I am I, like that. So I will have a birth or a death. So this tadatmya we call, this is the word tadatmya used. That means there is so much mix up of this. It's difficult for me to separate. This part I don't understand to separate. And hence this particular Prakarana Grantha is going to give me the clarity, is going to give me this vision that how I can separate myself of what I've been wrongly associating so far. Okay, so we will do the first verse. We'll read. Who wants to volunteer to repeat after me? Okay, we will have Sharda ji. Rupam drishyam lochanan druk.
Rupam drishyam druk.
Sorry, drukka will not say. Druk only will say halantar. Rupam drishyam lochanan druk.
Rupam drishyam druk.
Tadrishyam druktu manasam.
Tadrishyam drishtamanasam.
Druktu
Druktu
manasam. Not drishya manasam.
Okay.
Tadrishyam druktu manasam.
Tadrishyam druktamanasam.
Drishyadhivrittaya sakshi.
Drishyadivit.
Okay. Drishyadhivrittaya. You don't have the text in front of you? Then how can you repeat, my dear child? Okay. Lataji, you have text in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so we will start again. Rupam drishyam lochanan druk. Repeat twice.
Rupam drishyam lochanan druk. Rupam drishyam lochanan druk.
Tadrishyam driktu manasam.
Tadrishyam driktu manasam. Tadrishyam driktu manasam.
Drishyadhivrittaya sakshi.
Drishyadhivritasakshi.
Vrittayas.
Drittaya sakshi. Drishyadhivrittaya sakshi. Drishyadhivrittaya sakshi.
Drige vanatu drishyate.
Drige vanatu drishyate. दृगेव न तु दृश्यते.
Full verse.
रूपं दृश्यं लोचनं दृक् तदृश्यं दृक्तुमानसं दृश्याधीवत्तस्य
Vrittaya.
दृश्याधिवृत्तयः साक्षी दृगेव न तु दृश्यते. रूपं दृश्यं लोचनं दृक् तदृश्यं द्रक्तुमानसं दृश्याधिवृत्तयः साक्षी दृगेव न तु दृश्यते.
Good. Rupam drishyam lochanam drik tadrishyam druktumanasam drishyadhivrittaya sakshi drigeva na tu drishyate. We need to memorize this. No choice. Now what happens? The highest is being said over here. Rupa. Rupa means all the forms that I see. So that is a drishya. That is a scene. And who is seeing the forms? Lochanam. Lochanam is eyes. So eyes, druk. Druk means seer. Seen, S-E-E-N. Seen is all the forms. I is the seer, S-E-E-R. So seen and seer. Rupa, all the forms is a drishya. That means it is the object. Lochanam, eyes is the seer. That means it is the subject. Okay. So what happens over here? This is our level 1. And the level is going to go higher and higher. And each time, whatever is going to be a drishya, drishya is seen. What is seen? That's always going to be lower. Seer is always higher. Lower is going to be inert. Higher is awareness. Lower is always going to be many. Higher is going to be one. Correct? I can see a pot, I can see a light, I can see a pen, I can see my own phone, I can see the tripod. So many things. How many eyes are reporting? This one pair of, this one set only is reporting whatever it is reporting. So from this one verse, we are getting so many inputs that we'll have to keep it in mind. But we will see slowly into the next verse, which is going to, so the first verse is giving us a picture. Second verse is going to explain this Rupan Drishyam Lochanam Druk part. Then we go to the second, level number 2. It says Tad Drishyam. Tad means that is Drishyam. What is that? The last word used was Lochanam Druk. So now the Lochanam is Tad over here, becomes that, is a Drishya. So now the eye has become a scene. Scene, S-E-E-N, Drishya. Druktu Manasam. So Druk, we have seen that, Lochanam Druk, right? So now over here, Druktu, the seer is the mind. So this is our, the second half of the verse, the first line is, I has become now the drishya, means I has become the object, and who is seeing the eye is the mind, has become the seer. This is our level number 2. Level 1, all the objects were the drishya, and the eyes was the druk, the seer. Level 2, what happens? This eye becomes the drishya, and the one who sees that is becoming the druk, the seer. Okay. So this second pada is explained in verse number 3, which we will see now shortly after this. Now comes the third level. Drishya dhi vrittayaha sakshi. Now drishya, who becomes drishya? Drishya is becoming dhi vrittayaha, the formations, thoughts of the mind. That is becoming a scene now. That is becoming the object. Vritti is a thought. So many thoughts are rising, right? As you are listening to me, probably mind is going on to what is my background image, or what I'm trying to say, or after class, what you have to do, or are you hungry now? Have you finished your dinner, or you have to go and eat your dinner or sleep? The parallel thoughts are coming, but you are listening also. So many thoughts are coming. So this thought, which is becoming our drishya, which is becoming our object, which is becoming our scene, who is seeing that? That is seen by Sakshi. So this word Sakshi, we get in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse 18. What does it say? Gatir bharta prabhu Sakshi. So it is given as a synonym to Ishvara. So the mention of this word Sakshi in this first verse is a Mangalvachak. So our Mangalacharan, which is not there, which we are saying, by just mention of the word Sakshi. This Sakshi is this Brahman, this is supreme. And just mention of this becomes our Mangalacharan. So it's not that there is a direct Mangalacharan. So there are different Mangalacharans, right? We have Bhadrankarane, like we are doing Prarthana when we did the Kaivalya Upanishad, that, oh God, give me. So some Mangalacharana Prarthana Swarup. Some Mangalacharans are like Namaskar Swarup. We bow down to that Supreme. Some Mangalacharana Vastuni, they show what is it. So Sakshi is showing us that it's a pointer to the Supreme Brahman. So this becomes a very potent mantra, since we have to memorize, and this will be our first shloka that we'll be chanting all these. So we have to know this. So now, what is this Sakshi seeing? What are the thoughts? Who is the witness of my thoughts? Nobody knows my thoughts. No? I'm very happy. I can kill also anybody. I can do any crime in my mind and nobody will come to know. No, Sakshi is watching. So I'm watching means who is watching? The body is watching? No, because it has become lower now. So there is somebody higher. So this mind is on the lower, that Sakshi has become higher, and it will always keep record of all the thoughts that come in. Then the fourth pada says, Drug eva. So there is a sandhi. Druk eva. We saw na lochanan druk. We saw that word. Druktu manasam we saw. Then druk eva. So means drug eva. That is a sandhi. Na tu drishyate. We cannot see the Sakshi. So this final seer, nobody can see. So all that which was appearing, that the eye is a seer, the mind is the seer, all these were fake. They appeared. It was superimposed as if they were the seeing. But they were not actually seen. I cannot see my eyes. I haven't seen my eyes. We all have seen my eyes. So my eyes are your object. Your eyes have you seen. What you see in the mirror is a reflection. Your eyes have you seen. I have a beautiful photograph. That itself is a proof that there was a camera present over there. That camera is not in the picture. Camera can never be in that picture. Sakshi drgeva natu drishyate. That seer, that final seer who is actually seeing, can never be seen. Are we clear? So this is our crux. This we should be super clear, because this is all is the DrgDrishya Viveka. Drug and Drishya Viveka. The seer and the seen discrimination. Then what happened to the eyes? What happened to the mind as they were the seers? No, they were always inert. Because they were not final. They appeared that they were seen. They were empowered by Sakshi. They didn't have their own powers. It appeared. So now all the conclusions we have to draw. So objects were infinite. But the eyes. So when we say over here eyes, we have to take as all the sense organs. Lochanam is a representative of the ear, of the nose, of the tongue, of the touch. Lochanam is a representative. So they have not included everything. But the ears can report the sound. So all the sense organ reporting is that by that word Lochanam. So what we are saying, objects are infinite. The sense organs are these 5. Then that mind is 4. So when we say in mind, everything should be taken together. The whole Antakaran combo. Anybody is remembering? What are the 4 components of Antakaran? Randomly?
Mano, Mano, Buddhi, Ahankara.
And Mana, Buddhi, Ahankara?
Ahankara and
Chitta.
Chitta. Yeah, Sakshi. Isn't that the Sakshi?
No.
No,
Sakshi
Sakshi is
separate
above
from
that.
as memory.
Yes, yeah, that's memory. Mano, Buddhi, Chitta, Ahankara.
So the mind complex is, Antakaran complex is not Sakshi. So it's only a Tadatmya over there happening. The reflection is happening over there. So that is that subtle thing. So it's Antakaran. So all the Antakaran combo is our mind denoted over here. All our 5 Indriyas are denoted by Lochanam over here. So all that is happening with infinite 5 or 4, whatever. How many Sakshis are there? Sakshi is only 1. That's unique, which nobody can see. So we will be going deeper and deeper into this. So we have to hold this thought throughout. Who is watching? Is that I watching? No, the mind has reported. So many times if you are driving on one monotonous long road, and then when some thought comes, and your thought trail takes you somewhere, probably from that highway you have gone to some remote village in India. Eyes on the road, eyes are wide open. You are going, but do you see? Then something shock should happen, whether some animal passes or you've gone and died, or suddenly then you realize, oh, did I pass that signal? Or somebody honks from behind, then brings your mind back. Then you realize, oh, sometimes even like if you're watching television and eating, how much you have eaten, you will not know. Did I finish all this? Oh, everything is over. Or you're still hungry. You have eaten more, but still, because mind has not reported. So who is doing all? We'll have to always have this clarity that the presence of one another. So this sense organ can report with the mind, but this mind is understood by the Sakshi. So there is the layer and the hierarchy is there, and they are not independent. They all are on a dependent aspect. Okay. We will hold this thought. We will go ahead and then we see what we can do further. So there are a few rules which I've just briefly said, which you'll all have to slowly remember, and we will repeat it. That there is, the objects can be many. The Sakshi is only one. We'll have to remember. The Sakshi cannot become an object. Object cannot become the Sakshi. The seer and the seen, they cannot be interchanged just like that. You'll have to remember this. Sakshi is highest. The final seer is the highest. But as we were coming with the 3 levels also, the I is higher than the object. Mind is higher than the eye. Eye means sense organs. Means, and its subtlety is going, and Sakshi is the subtlest of all. So this part we should never forget. Okay. And of course, the sentiency also we'll have to remember. Okay, now let's move on to the second verse. So this much clarity is there, right? Over here, we don't have any doubts. Let's go ahead. Lataji. नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः. There is no pada bhed over there. नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः.
नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः
नानाविधानि रूपाणि
नानाविधानि रूपाणि
पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा
पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नानाविधानि रूपाणि पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नानाविधानि रूपाणि पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा
नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मह्रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नानाविधानि रूपाणि पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा. So this is expanding the first quarter of our first verse. Rupan, Drishyam, Lochanam, Druk. This quarter is explained over here in the second verse. What does it say? Neela. Neela means blue. Pita. Pita is yellow. So this is means reporting the colors, only represented by blue, yellow, but it means colors. Sthula, gross. Sukshma, subtle, or it can also be taken as fat or thin, or big or small. So that means what? It is telling how the appearance is, the form, shape it is telling. Then Rasva Dirgha, something which is short and something which is long. Adi means etc. Bhedataha means it's divided like that. So all our scenes are like that, right? A lion, a mouse, a tiger, a mosquito, a big tree, a shrub, whatever. Orange color, sky, blue color, whatever. So apart from this, there is no other reporting where the color, the shapes, the sizes, etc. is reported. So this is our rupa. This is our drishya. So what is this? Nana vidhani rupani. Nana vidhani rupani. So that means these are variety of the forms. Who is saying pashyet? Pashyet is what? It's seen. Seen by whom? Lochanam, by the eyes. Ekadha means Rupa is changing and many. I is not changing. So Ekadha, this term will be repeated many times in the following verses. That remaining same. Just imagine if the eye has to become brown by seeing a brown object, or eye becomes long by seeing a long thing, or short or fat or whatever, if I has to change the shape or size and color according to the object, or you needed a different eye to see a bigger object and a different eye to see a small, it doesn't work like that. So ekadha, lochanam ekadha. Lochana is not changing. Seer is not changing. Remember, now the rule is coming. Drishya will change. Shape and size is changing. Seer is constant. Come what may, many infinite things will come and go. So many things we are yet to know. So many things since childhood we have come to know so far. Infinite things we have come to know. Infinite things are there yet to know also. But that seer is one. Ekadha. Are we clear? Very beautiful. Very simple. Rupam Drishyam. Lochanam Druk. Rupam Nana Vidhani. Lochanam Ekadha. Same. Objects will change. Subject is not changing. Subject is changeless. I was a baby. Now I am this 50-year-old. Who is witnessing that? That has not changed. Body shape, size, everything has changed. Some witnesses remain in common over there. That has not changed. So, we are clear now. The scene will change. Seer is not changing. Okay. Now, let's have Dharini ji. We'll do the third verse. Andhyamandyapatutveshu.
Andhyamandyapatutveshu. Andhyamandyapatutveshu.
Netradharmeshu chaikadha.
Netradharmeshu chaikadha. Netradharmeshu chaikadha.
Sankalpayen manashrotratvagadau yojjatamidam.
Sankalpayen manashrotra.
Shrotra Tvagadau is one word. Shrotra Tvag, ears, skin, Adau, etc. But they gave only two examples. Shrotra Tvagadau, because that is Tvagadau, they have made it compound over there. We cannot say Sankalpena Yan Manashrotra and then Tvagadau separately. Shrotra Tvagadau is one, that Vibhakti is for the Dvivachan. So we have to keep, and there is no Pada Bhed over here. Sankalpayen manashrotratvagādau yojjatamidam.
Sankalpayen manashrotratvagādau yojjatamidam. Sankalpayen manashrotratvagādau yojjatamidam.
Full verse.
Andhyamandyapatutveshu netradharmeshu chaikadha. Sankalpayen manashrotratvagādau yojjatamidam. Andhyamandyapatutveshu netradharmeshu chaikadha. Sankalpayen manashrotratvagādau yojjatamidam.
Very good. Andhyamandyapatutveshu netradharmeshu chaikadha. Sankalpayen manashrotratvagādau yojjatamidam. So what happened over here? Which I gave example that eyes are only representative, but other sense organs also we have to include, but they have not mentioned. So now we get that reference over here, that shrotra, tvag, the ears or the skin. So it is also included. Adau means etc. All other sense organs are also included. In what? Now the second quarter of the verse comes up. We said Rupam Drishyam, Lochanam Druk. Then what happens in the second quarter? Tadrishyam. What happens? Lochanam has become the Drishya, and Druktu Manasam. Manasa, the mind has become Druk. So if we have to put in the same words, Rupam Drishyam, Lochanam Druk. Now, Lochanam Drishyam, Manasam Druk. Okay, so it is clear. So now this Lochana Drishya and mind becoming the seer is explained in this aspect. So when we are seeing the objects, we could understand that there is variety, Nana Vidhani of the objects. Now, when I has become a object, what is the Nana Vidha of the eyes? How it is explained? So then, that first word, Andhya. Andhya means what? Blindness. Mandhya is what? Dullness. Patutva. Patutva, patuta means sharpness. Expert is another meaning. Patuta. So sharpness. So these are what? Netra dharmeshu. Netra dharma, the characteristics of the eyes. So there are different characteristics of the eyes. But ekadha. Ekadha is what? What is remaining the same? Sankalpayen manaha. That mind which is knowing all this variety is the one only ekadha. Ekadha is, it is remaining the same. Mind is not changing with the blindness. So if a person is blind, mind is different. If a person is having sharp, mind is different. That doesn't happen. Same thing they said with the Shrotratva Gadao. So I will have, the ears will have, probably the ears are very sharp, the ears are dull, the ears are having whatever other problems, that it is not so good, or whether the skin, its sensitivity to heat or cold, or whether it is a smooth or a rough, whatever is that differences in these sense organs, mind is only one which understands all this variety. So how we understood Nana Vidha Rupa and I is one, like that, I has got so many other things which only one mind is understanding. Yojyatamidam. So this applies to what Shrotra and Tvag also, this rule applies, is what it is said. I hope I'm clear, but I'll say the meaning again. Andhya, blindness. Mamdhya, dullness. Patuta, keenness or sharpness, is netra dharmeshu. This is the characteristic of eyes. Cha ekadha sankalpayet manaha. But the mind, which is remaining the ekadha same, sankalpayet, it knows. Shrotra tvagadau, the skin, the ears, etc. Yojyatamidam. This also applies to them who Shrotra and Tvag, etc. To the skin, to the ears, etc. Are we understanding now? So how the seer is getting one and the seen is getting many is described in this level 2. But we are taken only eyes as an example, but now here they said even ears, even the skin, all other sense organs, whatever varieties they have, one single mind is understanding it. It's already 9:45. I thought I will complete the fourth verse, but I think we can go slow. There is no hurry to do so many verses, but the aim was to complete third verse, the fourth and the fifth also if possible, but fourth at least, to keep the thought flow. But that doesn't matter. We will pause over here so that we can chew over this. Those who are very good in memorizing the verses, please take it to memorize. But for everybody, whether you are able or not, first verse should be very clear. Okay, so now we have 2 more hands which I have not addressed. Okay, Jayanti ji, you read the first verse.
Rupan drishyam lochanan druk tadrishyam druktu manasam drishyadhivrittayat sakshi drgeva natu drishyate Rupan drishyam lochanan druk
तद्दृश्यं द्रक्तुमानसं दृश्याधिवृत्तयः साक्षी दृगेव न तु दृश्यते.
Very good. Sudhaji, do the next verse.
नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्म रस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नानाविधानि रूपाणि पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा.
When you do the second reading, you don't stop. There is no pada break at Sukshma.
Okay. नीलपीतस्थूलसूक्ष्मरस्वदीर्घादिभेदतः नानाविधानि रूपाणि पश्येल्लोचनमेकधा.
Very good. Sajeev ji, read the third verse.
आन्ध्यमान्ध्यपटत्वेषु नेत्रधर्मेषु चैकधा संकल्पयेन्मनश्श्रोत्र त्वगादौ योज्यतामिदम्. आन्ध्यमान्ध्यपटुत्वेषु नेत्रधर्मेषु चैकधा संकल्पयेन्मनश्श्रोत्र त्वगादौ योज्यतामिदम्.
Shrotra.
श्रोत्र संकल्पयेन्मनश्श्रोत्र संकल्पयेन्मनश्श्रोत्र त्वगादौ योज्यतामिदम्.
Perfect. So we'll stop over here. So technically what we have finished is only first line, first two pada only. We have not finished the third and the fourth pada. We will take it in the next class. Those who are in Singapore and those who had ordered the books have arrived. Please message me when you can come. Nobody responded to the message when I had put. So please take the book. It's very important to have the physical book in hand. As Swami Abhedanandji says, the Devata becomes prasanna, and then we get blessed. Rather than just scrolling on our devices, we can bring the Devata live. And you should use the book, and as you use, it should get thicker and it increases. A new book is very flat, but when you start using, it literally fattens, and there's a joy to see that fattening of our book because of our usage and reading that much the Devata gets blessed. So hold the book in the hand, leave the devices, please order your book. Guruji's commentary is the best. So which book to which, so many, so it's best to have Guruji. So those who are new to Chinmay Mission, Swami Tejo Mayanandaji, we call him fondly Guruji. So Chinmay Mission Prakashan, DrgDrishya Vivek, the book will look something like this. So if you have to order online, those who are not in Singapore, you can order like this. For those who are in Singapore, I have already ordered and got your books. You can come and collect. Even if you had not mentioned your name early, I have got extra copies also. Okay, so we end our session today over here. Before we end, anybody has any doubt, any thought is lingering which is not clear? Only of this first line, not of the next line, only of what we have discussed. Anything? All clear. Awesome. So let's meet. So our class duration will always be 45 minutes. That much is only our attention span. And that discrimination, we should dwell on and develop that vision throughout this week. Who is watching? Who is watching? Who is speaking? Who is eating? Who felt hungry? And try to dissociate your I from that hunger, from that talk, from that. And that constant awareness will help us. So as we progress further, like Kaivalya Upanishad, there are meditation verses into this also. That is towards the end. So this initial first 12 mantras, I think so. We can call it as Tvam Pada Vichara, we can say, the first 12. And the next, up till about maybe we can say from 13 to about 21, it is a Tat Pada Vichara. Then meditation starts at verse 22. And there are only 31 verses. So from 22 to 30, all the meditation process and, the means to discriminate that comes. And the last verse is the Falashruti. So this is how the class would also progress. Let's see if we can get Swamiji the meditation time. I do not know. When we heard from the realized masters, the vision gets very clear. Okay, so let's do our closing prayers. Keep your spine straight, close your eyes, take a deep breath in and exhale. Keep yourself muted. Keep yourself muted. Take a deep breath in and exhale. Take a deep breath in, hold it there. Om. 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 Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutra Bhashya Kritau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Shri Ishwararpanamastu. Hari Om, everyone. See you
Hari Om.
next week.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank
Hari
you,
Om.
Varshaji.
Thank you, Varshaji.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you,
Hari
Varshaji.
Om.
Hari Om.
Thank you.
Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Thank
Hari
you,
Om
Ji.
Varshaji. Hari Om.
Hari Om.
Hari Om. ma'am.
Hari Om.
Hari Om Varshaji.
Hari Om Ji. Hari Om.
Pranam
End the
Varshaji.
session. Pranam Ji. Pranam.